You have the right to remain silent unless you're looking to smell good for the law. I've encountered the law once or twice in my life, and I was eventually indicted for smelling too good. And you could too, for under 60 bucks. So let's roll my motherfucking music so I can put you on to 10 clone fragrances that I've enjoyed in 2025 that smell pretty damn close to the OG. Let's go. Blessed morning, my beautiful peoples. You know who it is. It's your boy, 𝗙𝗙𝗏. $60 price point and cheaper, smelling sexy, and can essentially scratch the itch of what the OG would smell like. Now, these aren't one-to-one exactly. So in order to start this video correctly, I might as well start with a fragrance that I always recommend, and that's Lattafa's Vintage Radio, aka Initio's Paragon. Palo Santo and Plum is the name of the game, and the amount of people that I've recommended this fragrance to is crazy. I've always gotten the Cubes. I got Vintage Radio. I never experienced Plum. This shit hits crazy. And I've gotten, the compliments have been crazy. I've never smelled anything like this. It's so unique. Damn, I want to smell more Plum fragrances, and that's the whole purpose of putting you on to shit. Before you go and spend the money on the OG, this has a good amount of that OG vibe at an affordable price point. Not everybody can blow the bag on $200, $300, $400 fragrances. So if you got $60 to spare or under, Vintage Radio, if you want to get to the Plum space, absolutely gorgeous. Again, Palo Santo, Plum, ambery, woody, rich, beautifully unique, and you have nothing else in your collection that smells like this. Next, one of the better recent releases of Creed, Centaurus. Absolutely love this scent profile, but if you want to save a little bit of bread, you can get yourself Rayhaan Crimson. In that same bubble space, fairly close, and you have that beautiful woody, spicy, big reddish kind of energy that I find absolutely sexy. If I got one little discrepancy, is that the Centaurus is performing a little bit better than this scent profile, and it has a little bit more of an ambery flow, as this one is a little bit more wood and spicy cinnamon forward. But for the most part, close enough, especially for $300 less. Elegant, masculine, sexy. It is polarizing. I've heard both good and bad about the fragrance. Now, for me, I'm speaking from my personal taste. I think that this is absolutely beautiful, and I think they knocked it out of the park with this interpretation, which lives in that $40-ish space. Yes, please. So Rayhaan Crimson, shit's lit. A really good interpretation of JPG's Paradise Garden, Hawa's Tropical. Easiest way to describe this is a figgy, earthy, milky, coconutish summertime vibes. It isn't your traditional freshy, aquatic-y blue fragrance, but it does smell like vacation in a bottle. This fragrance is living in that $50 to $60 space, and you have a lot of tropical essences from this joint. You're partying on a boat, you're in somewhere tropical, you're at a beach club of some sort, there's house music playing in the background, you have Hawaiian tropic lotion on your bodies, and all you're looking at is a bunch of BBLs and thongs walking past you. Rough life, fam. Where's the invite? I'm buying.
Not bad, not bad.
What I enjoy about Hawa's Tropical is the fact that the fig essence, which I'm a huge fan of fig, adds some body to this overall personification, this idea of freshy fragrances that we have that sometimes gets a little bit like wah-wah, redundant and boring. It's green, it's figgy, it's musky, and it's got a good, deep, rich, woody base. Sexy, spice, earthy, milky, vacation in a bottle for a budget, and it's pretty damn close to the OG. Not one-to-one, but close. This joint performs. Art of Universe by Lattafa, aka Blue Talisman adjacent. This fragrance and Blue Talisman is kind of focused on three main things: wood, ambroxan, and pear. And you're getting all of that in this fragrance sub $50. Now, one of the things that you're not missing in this fragrance or in Blue Talisman is performance. This has extraordinary performance. I'm talking about 10 hours plus off of my skin, and that's 8 sprays or more. I tell people all the time, although performance is great on me, it might not be great on you. It varies from person to person, depending on your skin chemistry, how much you spray, what your environment is, what you smoke, and what your diet is like. You can sweat absolute acid and the fragrance don't do shit for you. It's subjective, fam. But in this particular case, the type of money that you're spending on this fragrance, you're not gonna go broke, fam. It's the same price of an extra large pepperoni pizza pie, dog. And all that pizza's gonna do is make you fat and take a huge shit. Or constipate you. This one might get you a compliment or a little wink, even if she's a short, thicky, kind of like, mildly ugly chick. But I always say, if she's not 280, she ain't a lady. Thick chicks need love too. So, Art of Universe, if you're looking for a budget option of Blue Talisman with a punchy ambroxan and pear note, check it out. Is this safe to say that this might be my new secret obsession and the cat's out the bag? Because everybody's like, yo, Kuba, you were right about this joint. Fashionably London by Zara? Yo, that Delina-esque vibe, beautiful jammy rose, absolutely energizing, vibrant, sexy, mature, more feminine leaning, but gentlemen, don't let that stop you. Walk your ass into Zara. You're shopping in Zara at the end of the day. So stop questioning masculinity because you're wearing an extra tight t-shirt in Euro sizes and you got tits as big as mine. So stop the judgment. Trying to wear thin slacks so you can show the cup that you're tucked in. Shut up.
So long, gay boys.
Elegant, sensual, floral, sweet, musky, a really attractive scent profile. I told you on the previous video, I got 2 compliments within, what, the hour of buying this fragrance? Literally exiting the mall, I was getting compliments from this fragrance. And still to this day, with the couple of wears that I've gotten, I've never gotten anybody be like, ugh. It's always like, okay. And there's been a couple of comments, at least in my DMs, like, yo, I pulled this shit off. I thought it was a little feminine at first until I let it dry down. This shit is a vibe. I've been kind of loving 𝗙𝗪𝗔𝗔 Absolute, but I've been kind of glazing off 𝗙𝗪𝗔𝗔 Collector's Edition. These two, close, just not in price. For me, this is the 𝗙𝗪𝗔𝗔 DNA that I absolutely love. The OG 𝗙𝗪𝗔𝗔 is still a legend, the king of kings. But I think Absolute not only took the DNA, but took the crown. At least for me, I find it a little bit more bold and beautiful. I think that 𝗙𝗪𝗔𝗔 Absolute is the personification of like absolute sex magnet walking through. This fragrance, Afnan Supremacy Collector's Edition, for the price point, it performs extraordinarily well. It commands the sexy vibes that I'm looking for. It does give me liquid courage, confidence, exactly what I want out of a fragrance. And this has no like age limitation, right? You can be an OG or a young buck and still pull this fragrance off. As a matter of fact, if you're a younger dude, rocking this fragrance kind of shows that you have some taste. And maybe if you're not obsessed with designer brand names, like, oh shit, I got a Creed fragrance, and you tell people, yeah, no, this is a Creed clone, people might be like, yo, you are a smart shopper. You know how to hustle your money correctly. Because I've always said it, bro. We can't hang these bottles from our chains, bro. Nobody's gonna be like, yeah, nah, I got that Creed kid in the stop. You trying to get the compliments and positive attention, not attention that you looking and sounding stupid, which is something that I know well. So Afnan Supremacy Collector's Edition, fire. Now we're gonna get a little risky. French Avenue's Opus Magnum. Look familiar? A lighter Royal Tobacco. Maybe a more mass appealing Royal Tobacco. I love Royal Tobacco. I put that shit in masterpiece category based on my taste, and this does scratch a decent amount of the itch. It doesn't have the roundness or the boldness or the depth that that fragrance has. However, for the $40 some odd price point that this has, it is rich, it is smoky, it is sweet, it is underlying chocolatey, dusty espresso with a bold wood Middle Eastern touch and a gorgeous sweetness, almost latte-ish. Well, I wouldn't even consider it a latte. It's like a couple of drops of sweetened milk inside of coffee. It's still black coffee. This fragrance opens up punchy and it smacks you in the face. It's still fresh, but it also has this unusual black licorice kind of DNA, which starts to wind down into more of a cinnamony kind of scent profile. Then you start getting the olabdanum and the woods and the richness and the depth. Definitely a cold weather fragrance, but with a lot of versatility and body, especially for the price point. I don't consider this joint smelling like a cheap dollar store fragrance. I feel like this is a beautiful interpretation of a masterpiece at an affordable price point, allowing all of us to play in the fragrance game without going into debt. It's got performance, it's got body, it doesn't smell cheap, it's a beautiful scent profile, a little bit risky, but risk in fragrance is sometimes what makes it the most fun. Sometimes you're born to stand out like a drunk lover, and if not, you could do a little 𝗙𝗪𝗔𝗔𝗪𝗏. Bless you, I can't pronounce the shit. Here, look at it again. You can read it before I can. What am I gonna front and act like I know what the hell this says? I know what it smells like though. Delicious. Amber and vanillic boozy berries is what you're getting out of this scent profile. When I first smelled it, I was like, wait a minute. This smells naughty. And you know I like naughty. Creamy, powdery, sexy, boozy, with a little bit of a tartish energy and some playful sweetness, almost like a wet bag of candy is kind of the assimilation that I like to give people. Then in the midsection of the fragrance, it starts to get a little bit more lively, freshy, and a little bit herbal. So you got booze, berries, vanilla, amber, then fresh and herbal for like $60. Really good performance, no sharp edges, doesn't smell like perfumer's alcohol dripped with a little bit of essential oil. This shit smells like a beautiful perfume put together by some talented people or machine. Does it smell good? Fuck yeah. Now, if you want to keep a little summertime energy with a nice watermelon punch, we go Atlantis, which is essentially this, but a little bit creamier. So the 𝗙𝗪𝗀 one definitely screams a little bit more watermelonish, summertime vibes with incredible performance and not an expensive price point, to be honest with you. This one's a little bit more suntan lotion energy with more of a creamy, powdery essence. So it's got this rounded off, ambery kind of essence with a beautiful watermelon energy and more of like a lotion-esque creaminess. I got over 7 hours of performance on this freshy fragrance, and for the price point of like in that $50-ish space, when you can find it, shit has not let me down as of yet. But not everybody lives in 4 seasons of climate, and this this one was a very impressive playful scent profile that they killed it. And the last fragrance you want to talk about daring, you better enjoy 𝗙𝗂𝗍 aka hookah, because Veneno is pure hookah in a bottle. This is in the space of Kilian smoking hot, and they're really close. They both really focus on that shisha-ish energy. It's like a toasted green apple with hookah. That's what you're getting out of this fragrance. This ain't gonna be for everybody, but if you live in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, tri-state area, Montana, somewhere where there's fucking snow or chilly weathers, try this shit out, and it's gonna be so different from anything else in your stash, and you're gonna get that smoking hot itch out of your system and see if it's even worth it to you to pick up the OG. I do often have the clones and the originals, and sometimes go back and forth with these fragrances, and then you start to realize, yeah, maybe they're not exactly one-to-one, and maybe this has more of its own characteristic. However, it scratches a lot of the same itch for a fraction of the price point. So in having the dupe fragrance, is not gonna break your pocket. You're like, damn, I could have saved that $30 to put it towards the original. I mean, really though? You lost $30 in your couch yesterday. You can't buy a bushel of bananas for $10. So if you want something ultra risky, and if you want to feel like you're in the back of a discotheque popping bottles and smoking hookah, Veneno by French Avenue might be an option that you want to check out, because it's risky, ballsy, dark, rich, potent, and smells like you might close a deal tonight. 10 awesome dupe clone fragrances, inspired expressions, whatever you want to call them. These are really close to the OG. Again, with a lot of interpretive fragrances, they get so freaking close that you won't be able to tell the difference, right? But unless you really dissect them, then you start pinpointing little nuances here or there, whether it be performance related or they're inspired by with their own twists. It's all about inclusivity at the end of the day, and not having everybody who wants to play into the fragrance game and enjoy to smell good not fall into a deep hole because they're trying to keep up with the Joneses, buying fucking 6 figures of fragrances just to be vibing out. We can all play in the game. You can buy a mix of both and enjoy yourself. At the end of the day, it's fucking scented water, gang. We just want to smell dope, not go into debt. I love y'all mother suckers from the heart. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all stitches next time. You know who it is, biggest in the game. Smooches.
Fly gun holder, money folder, motor roller, start tack when it's time to call back. For the rough, rugged, and raw way, this nigga Jay, it's a game, but he don't play. Hey, for all the chicks that got dead in the penthouse suite on top of my mom's crib.